Jurassic Park. It is a movie. Maybe you've heard of it. It is based on a book by Michael Crichton. It is about dinosaurs. That book also had a sequel called The Last World, Jurassic Park. Both of those books had movies made about them. The original Jurassic Park is widely considered to be a masterpiece. It is indeed an awesome movie that blends science fiction, action, and definitely a little bit of horror with just the right amount of humor. Is kind of like the very essence of Spielberg and very much a movie that he would make. So now we have its sixth sequel, the seventh movie in the pantheon of Jurassic Park films. So let's talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Before we get started, click on the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know when I post new content. You can also follow me over on X, Rumble, and the Instagrams. Link to all those will be in the description of this video. Okay, so the first Jurassic Park is great. It has iconic scenes, sequences. It has the sequence with the brachiosaurs, the huge dinosaur reveal. One of the greatest movie scenes ever put on film. You have the T-Rex in the Jeep, also iconic. The awesome ending and the scene in the kitchen and the cafeteria. All of it is just tremendous. Love Jurassic Park. Sequel came out in 1997. It is widely considered to be inferior. The book is amazing, and yet they somehow managed to kind of screw up the movie despite Spielberg coming back. Almost a completely new cast of characters, except for, of course, Ian Malcolm, who returns, played by Jeff Goldblum. And then Jurassic Park 3 came out several years later in the early 2000s and was kind of rushed. Joe Johansson, who can sometimes put out good movies and sometimes is a bit of a hack director, directed it. Really messy ending. And they've managed to talk certain actors into coming back in these movies. And then they rebooted it with, not rebooted it, it was a proper sequel, but they kind of restarted everything with a brand new park where the park is fully open called Jurassic World. And then we got 3 of those movies. The first one was pretty good. I know people who despise that movie and people who enjoy it for the most part. I feel like I'm one of the people who enjoyed that movie. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is maybe the second or third very worst movie I've ever seen in the theater. I despise that movie with everything in me. I think it's easily the worst of these movies. Dominion, I kind of chose to embrace the crazy and like-ish that movie because I just gave up at that point. It was these movies are now trash. I'm just going to love this one. I don't care how dumb these characters are. And so I enjoyed Dominion. Now, we get to number 7, Jurassic World Rebirth. So at some point you run out of ideas, right? And the new idea is, hey, we're going to start over with a whole new cast of characters, new director who has a very great visual style, and we're going to throw another really dumb story in there. David Koepp, who wrote the original, is back to write the script for this, and they're just out of ideas. So the whole thing is here, rich billionaire pharmaceutical investor, surprise, surprise, is going to take this cast of characters. He's going to get his mercenary, played by Scarlett Johansson. They are going to go to this island, which did scientific research and was kind of this black site for the dinosaurs. All these worldwide dinosaurs are now starting to die off because they can't adjust to the climate, whatever that means, except for kind of around the equator. And so now we're on this island, and there's the one really big, bad, scary dinosaur that you know is going to pop up at the end of the movie, and certainly does. It sounds like I'm dumping on this movie because it is naturally kind of dumb, but I actually really enjoyed it. Believe it or not. The writing is a mess. The characters make a lot of really dumb decisions, including one point where they get into a raft and go upstream to escape a dinosaur, which, if you know anything about rafting or water or escaping dinosaurs, seems like a bad idea. So they just continue make dumb decisions throughout the course of the movie. There's this family that's on a sailboat, and they end up crashing and joining up with this cast of characters, this crew, and that family is all super duper annoying. The daughter is kind of useless. The even younger daughter is just there for some mild child's entertainment. Like, hey, we put a child in this movie. Huh? And then the boyfriend of the older daughter is like just an awful character who contributes nothing, has zero actual character arc, which I thought was interesting. I thought he was going to kind of develop, but nope, he sucks. So there's like this mess of characters, but I will say this: Gareth Edwards, who directed Rogue One, he directed The Creator, a movie that I actually really like both of those movies. He directed the Godzilla reboot with Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen from, I don't know, 2012 or 14 or whatever it was. He's a pretty good director. I think he has an incredible like look and stylistic feel to his movies. So this movie does, I will say, have some, like, despite the messes with the story and the characters, it has some really, really awesome set pieces. This movie has probably the best use of the Tyrannosaurus Rex since the original film. Gone are the moments of like the whole stupid Jurassic World, we're training the dinosaurs now and the raptors are smart and maybe they're loyal to the humans, and all that crap is just gone. And I think this movie is much better for it. It also has like significantly more horror elements. It also makes one of the weirdest decisions I've ever seen in any movie, which, and this is a spoiler, it's not going to spoil anything about like characters who die or anything like that, but, or no really story spoilers. But the big, bad, scary dinosaur that is shown like in very briefly at the beginning of the movie and then unveiled at the end of the movie is literally just the Rancor from Return of the Jedi. As soon as I watched it, I like let out a laugh in the theater because I'm like, they just got a Rancor with really short, stubbly arms, and that's the big bad dinosaur for this movie. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. The cast overall for what they're asked to do is like fine. Jonathan Bailey as like the nerdy scientist is pretty good. Scarlett Johansson is fine as Zora. How do you say his name? I have it because I can never forget. I can never remember how to pronounce his name. Mahershala Ali, who is eventually going to play Blade if Marvel ever gets their act together. He's pretty good as like the seafaring mercenary who can get people in and out of dangerous places. So yeah, it's fine. I think it's really smart that they didn't bring back any of the other characters, which is kind of funny because Dominion just had everybody in it. And now they're going the opposite direction. I think that's actually a pretty smart move. So really good action sequences, a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Overall, super entertaining. Stylistically, visually, movie looks fan-friggin-tastic. Probably the best looking movie since the original. Definitely the best looking movie since the original. I liked it. I don't know if I ever will see it again. I probably will. It was entertaining. That's all I got. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, found it helpful, I hope you would consider subscribing. You can also like and share the video. That tells the powers that be that's worth promoting. Follow me on my social medias, and I will see you next Saturday at 9 a.m.